You're watching the Sports and Political channel of LB. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Let's get down to business. So, in this particular video, we're going to talk about a ruling that came down um, recently as the NFL has suspended Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson 11 games and has fined him $5 million, and he has to go through behavioral treatment for violating the personal conduct policy. Now, this is despite the fact that there are no criminal charges placed on Deshaun Watson. Now, I've went through this thing in detail on many videos. So if you have not watched the videos I put up when it came to how Deshaun Watson had all these false allegations levied against him, then you need to go back and check those videos out. What's up, 3000 Degrees? Salute to you, brother. Hey, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you don't hit the like, hey, if guys come in, I need y'all to hit the like button. If you don't hit the like button, uh, YouTube not going to recommend the video, and y'all not going to get the notifications. So I really need everyone that comes in. You know, as you coming in for a cameo, if you coming in for the entire duration of the video, I need y'all to hit the like button so you can get your notifications. But yeah, they found that Meat Puppet and Peter C. Harvey to do its bidding. Now, Peter C. Harvey was a guy that the NFL would tap on many occasions to consult them on matters regarding any kind of situations when it comes to these players and things of that nature. So that is a clear conflict of interest right there, if you ask me. So you're going to tab the guy to consult you on matters regarding the NFL. Now you're going to now you're going to tab this guy here to listen to your appeal. That's a conflict of interest. What's up, Maximus Royalty? Salute to y'all. Appreciate y'all for being up in here. They knew what the devil they were doing. When the NFL tabbed Peter C. Harvey for their appeal, the fix was already in. The fix was already in. Like, who couldn't see this one coming from a mile away? You had to be living under a rock, or you had to be, you know, sniffing on that Cocoa Puffs to not see that this was coming from a mile away. What's up, Carla? Salute to you, my sister. Shout out to Two Raw for sports in the building. You said your phone passed away this week? Well, rest in peace to your Nokia, and may that phone burn in hell. But hey, shout out to you for being in the building too, Raw. But yeah, now one thing that we hadn't talked about from this angle, right? Why did they accept this agreement? Why did they agree to the 11-game suspension, right? Because there was no way they was trying to accept a full season. Because mind you, he didn't play all year last year. He didn't play all year last year. So all these people that was running their mouth up in the Jacksonville, when they played Jacksonville, he looked horrible in the Jacksonville game. Well, duh, the dude didn't play all year last year. What the fuck you expect? Exact. Yeah, you already know what's going on, Maximus. Because they wanted to send a message. right? They wanted to send a message that this kind of activity won't be tolerated. Why? The only thing I fault Deshaun Watson for is getting unlicensed women off Instagram. That right there, okay, maybe that's not the best decision to make. But Deshaun Watson displayed predatory behavior? How? What evidence do you have to support, Roger Goodell, that Deshaun Watson displayed predatory behavior? And what constitutes predatory behavior in your eyes? He displayed predatory behavior. Says who? What evidence you got to support that? Because he didn't provide not one shred of evidence to support this so-called predatory behavior. So if I'm looking at if I see a girl walk by me and she got a big old juicy old watermelon ass, right? Or she got a big old cantaloupe ass, that motherfucker is rotund as shit. And I look, is that predatory behavior? If I look and don't do anything, I don't react to it, I don't be like, good googly boogly, that thing is juicy. Or anything close to that. Is that predatory behavior? What the hell constitutes predatory behavior? That is such vague weasel words and pseudo random ass jargon. So let me get this straight. It's okay for Daniel Snyder to have all these women come out and say that he sexually harassed them and they was in a hostile working environment and all this clown show that was going on within the Washington Corporate Commanders, right? And all he had to do was pay a $10 million fine and give his control of the organization to his wife. But he's not made to sell the team. Why hasn't he sold the team yet? So I don't respect this shit. And this is another reason why I will be boycotting the NFL because I've already been boycotting the NFL anyway. But this gives me further reason to boycott the NFL. Now, for those of you that like watching football, y'all know that the NFL has not been paying black players, right? Because they deem black players to have a lower cognitive state than white players. So white players was getting paid after their careers have ended, but black players hasn't. It's called race norming. That was a practice that the NFL has been doing for a long ass time until they got outed for it. Then all of a sudden, this whole race norming thing goes away. And then another thing, all you guys that's playing in the league that's not getting behind Deshaun Watson, that don't defend this guy, that didn't support this guy, you motherfuckers are a bunch of coons too. Right. Robert Kraft, what kind of punishment he get? This motherfucker was busted getting a love me long time at a fucking Asian parlor. What kind of suspension he get? Oh, we didn't get no suspension. What he got was, oh man, this man like 73 years old. He trying to mourn the death of his wife. And his wife died like a couple years prior to that, right? But nevertheless, hey, he's just an old man trying to get his rocks off. You gotta let the man have some fun, man. Come on, man. He get busted for this, and then he gets let go. This motherfucker was literally busted for this shit. You had voyeurism within the Dallas Cowboys. Motherfuckers had one of Jerry Jones's executives had a peephole where he could watch the cheerleaders undress and shit. Hell, Jerry Jones had a woman come out of nowhere saying that Jerry Jones is my daddy. But if you understand the white supremacist ideology, right, we can sit here and be all up in arms about the different hypocrisies and the contradictions and all that shit. But Neely Fuller said this best, right? Neely Fuller said this best, and that white supremacy believes in taking all sides of the equation. White supremacy believes in taking all sides of the equation. So to answer your question, Arquise Ross, double jeopardy only applies to the court of law. It does not apply here in this case. See, double jeopardy in law, basically, if I went out and killed someone, right, and I got acquitted for killing someone, or I take that back. If I went out and it got accused of killing someone, and I got acquitted for killing someone, then they cannot bring those same charges up to me again. That's double jeopardy. Now, in a civil case, that's a whole different ball of wax. But criminally, they cannot go after me for the same fucking crime. And then another thing we have to address is the fact that I'm gonna equate this thing in the NFL to where I was in the military, right? You don't have to be convicted, or you don't even have to be indicted, or you don't even have to be charged with a situation in the court of law. But in the military, it's not a trial. So all the commanding officer has to have is a reasonable suspicion, so he can think that something happened, right? And could he consider evidence and things like that? Yeah, he could consider evidence, but at the end of the day, the power is in his hands. If he thinks something went down, if he thinks something's wrong, then in his estimation, you did wrong and you're gonna get penalized for it. And this is what we see in here. But instead of Roger Goodell issuing the punishment, no, I'm gonna find my coon ass meat puppet and Peter C. Harvey. Hey, my little shell out friend right here, Mr. Peter C. Harvey. How you doing today, big buddy? Uh, Shout to Frozen '06 for a super chat donation. He said, keep producing these bangers, bro. Absolutely. Absolutely. Make sure you hit that like button and support the channel. Now, and Two Raw just beat me to it. Even though this man was not convicted in the court of law, he is going to be convicted in the court of public opinion. All the ESPN talking heads, whether it be Marley Cam, uh, uh, Kimberly A. Martin, right? Another black girl who chases interracial sexual access, right? And they're the worst. These tethers are the fucking worst. It would be Sarah Spain, Jamel Hill, whoever, right? I know Jamel Hill don't work for ESPN anymore, but that's besides the point. The fact of the matter is, when Deshaun Watson's suspension is over with, what's going to be the outcry? Oh well, he should have gotten more games. Yeah, that 11-game suspension is not enough. The NFL really need to send the message here that this kind of activity won't be tolerated. Right. Who can ever forget this? Jerry Richardson, the original owner of the Carolina Panthers, right? Had to sell the team after all that shit came out on him. And did you hear anything about Jerry Richardson anymore after he sold the team? Right? Because he sold the team to the guy's name is Tepper. After he sold the team, they took down Jerry Richardson's statue, and you heard nothing about Jerry Richardson ever again. You didn't hear a peep about Jerry Richardson ever again. Ben Roethlisberger went out there, raped 2 women. You heard them signal boosting that in the media? You heard that? You hear anything about Ben Roethlisberger raping 2 women in the media? You hear all them idiots on ESPN signal boosting that one, degrading and devaluing and desecrating his name? No, you haven't. But as soon as Deshaun Watson takes the field, because the suspension takes effect on August 30th. So up until August 30th, when they trim the roster to 53 players, then you're gonna continue to see him in practices, in meetings, and playing in preseason games. But when August 30th rolls around, you're not gonna see Deshaun Watson anymore, right? And it's just not in football that the white media would derail and desecrate and destroy black man's name. We see it in baseball. B Skrills, what's up with you? Hey, did they talk? You heard them signal boosting Trevor Bauer? No. You know what channel was boosting about Trevor Bauer? Mine was. I probably was one of a few channels that was out here signal boosting all the shit Trevor Bauer did during his time with the Cincinnati Reds. Right? Speaking of the Cincinnati Reds, another individual by the name of Pete Rose. Now, when Bill Cosby was going through his ordeal, right, back in the 70s and all that, oh, they made sure to run Bill Cosby's name down to the ground. Pete Rose went to a Phillies game when they honored the team that won the World Series back in the early 80s. He was asked about that, and what did Pete Rose say? Oh, man, that was so long ago. You don't know nothing about that. Why are you speaking on that? And did the white media pressure Pete Rose? Did they, signal boost and carpet bomb the fact that Pete Rose was this raging sex predator in the 70s? No. Did a prosecutor get get involved in misconduct to railroad Pete Rose? No. None of that happened. What's up, East Oakland Dynamite? Salute to you. So I don't want to hear nothing that these meat puppets, these sellouts, these simps, and these hoes out here got to say. That was running their mouth about Deshaun Watson and don't have all the facts, don't have all the evidence. They're just sitting up here. Oh, he really raped that girl. Some girl come out saying that he touched her inappropriately, right? But she gonna invite him to her house? Or another girl who said she was so disgusted by Deshaun Watson that she was horrified and mortified by the mere mention of his name. It's going to all of a sudden one day be like, ding dong. Um, Mr. Watson, yes, I did your massage a couple weeks ago, and I'm just in a real sad state of affairs at the moment, and I know what I said was wrong about me being horrified and mortified by the mere mention of your name, but hey, after your games, can I give you a quick rundown because I'm low on a little bit of money right now. What? Who does that? What woman that's gonna be so horrified by the mere mention of a man's name that they're gonna just all of a sudden one day show up at the person's house or ask them out on dates and all this other crazy ass shit? We could go on and on and on about how this white person did this and how this white person did that, and the white media didn't do nothing about it. But as I always told y'all, right? white supremacy believes in taking all sides of the equation. They do. And this is what's going to be played out right now in this very moment. I don't agree with this decision. Deshaun Watson Cats obviously is not happy about this. They're saying that the NFL basically painted them into a corner because if they tried to fight this, then you run a possibility of more litigation to where Deshaun Watson could be out even more games. No telling how long this thing was going to play out. So, in legal terms, in this case, they felt that it was in their best interest to take the suspension, take the fine, so that way we can move past this thing. Shout out to Rose Bloom in the building. It's bullshit that this man got railroaded. 6 games. He got hit with a 6-game suspension. I talked about this weeks ago. But that wasn't good enough for the NFL. You know why? Because it was going to be a hit on their bottom line. It was going to be a hit on their bottom line because at the end of the day, money makes the world go round. When they're seeing all these sponsors pulling out, when they're seeing women's groups and other activist groups that's going to take a stand against the NFL, that's not going to collaborate with them, that's going to affect their bottom line. So they have to put on this front like they're going to do something about it, in which they did. This fucking kangaroo court that was being put on display was designed to keep their donors and the people who's going to collaborate with them happy. Now they're not going to tell you this. They're going to have Roger Goodell put on that bullshit ass statement full of jargon and all this other empty platitudes or what have you to keep people quiet. And even then, you're going to have people come out, well, the NFL should have did more. And that Deshaun Watson punishment wasn't severe enough. They really dropped the ball in sending a message to the inner and Deshaun Watson and to any other black man out there that calls himself looking at someone all cross-eyed while they walk past them. Because it's not like these people out here don't target these players knowing that they can sue them at any given moment to try to secure a bag. What's up, Stephon Alexander? Salute to you. NBA players and other athletes are subjected to the same kind of scrutiny, especially in this day and age where everybody got a camera phone, everybody got social media, all that shit. Look what I talked about last week about what the woman, that white girl, did to T.O. Oh, you're a black man coming up on a white woman. And how the lies of a white woman has consequences against a black man. But hey, we still can have people watching football. You can have people out here talking football when football season begins. Talk about, oh man, this guy should have did this and that guy should have did that. You're not going to catch no football videos on this channel. The only reason I'm talking about this because it's a system of white supremacy being displayed in athletics right now. But don't expect no NFL videos to come out on this channel unless something super egregious happens. But don't expect no videos on this platform here regarding the NFL. Fuck the NFL. I'm not supporting that bullshit. I'm not supporting that bullshit. I'm not supporting no fucking league that's up here engaging in race norming and using superior black athletes as some form of entertainment for these white supremacists up here in suits. Fuck out of here. At least in the NBA is taking steps to eliminate racism. When the whole Donald Sterling thing came out and Adam Silver condemned that shit and made him sell the team right off rip. You didn't see that with Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell can give a fuck less since he's a white supremacist his own goddamn right. So anybody that's sitting up here trying to call themselves trying to desecrate Deshaun Watson's character, fuck you. Fuck you and everything that you represent. And then say people out here talking about, well, you know, well, all he had to do was comply. You know, nothing would happen. Get the fuck out of here. This man didn't do anything wrong. Nobody could come out and articulate how was he being so predatory to them. And I talked about this in the previous video when the NFL slapped Deshaun Watson with a 6-game suspension. You know that the people that come on interviews, you know they get coached on what to say, on how to say it, and how to cry tears at a certain point to garner reaction from the audience. A lot of people not aware of that. A lot of people don't know that these individuals that sit up on interviews, they get trained, they get coached on what to say. They rehearse this shit before they go on live. So I'm not down with the play, man. This whole thing has been a fucking sham. It's a disgrace and it's disgusting, bro. This man should have not gotten suspended. Not one fucking game. But they had to go find their little meat puppet and Peter C. Harvey to do its bidding. And he was a glad and willing collaborator in this bullshit. Now, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. I thank everyone for watching. This your man. Scream at me. Ho!